Hello YouTube. Today I wanted to make a quick video and show you how I open up a blister without, so you can't tell that I ever opened it up. I'll tell you how I seal it back together and everything. I got all these cars I'm getting ready to make customs of. This stack here, I'm going to strip all these ones. This stack here is just going to get wheels and detail. This one, I'm going to go ahead and lower it, give it its proper race stance. I think it will look quite cool lowered. This stack over here, all these, I'm just going to weather these, make them all rusty. And I never tried weathering a vehicle yet, so those will all be experimental. And then at the end of the video, I'll show you how to strip the cars and get them ready for paint. But I just take some acetone on the back of a brush, dip it in it, I put it on pretty heavy. A shout out to Pooch Man. Before seeing him do this, I used to be real careful about it, and it used to take a real long time. And now, I just apply a good amount, let it sit a minute, go to the next one. Just keep applying a heavy amount to it. Now I go around the top and the two sides. I don't go along the bottom. I'll show you when I flip it over. Crack one. Go back to the first one, put a little bit more on, see if it's ready. When it's ready, it will just pop up nice and clean. Now if you have your new custom ready to go, you can pop it right in here, and I always use clothespins to hold them shut. And when it dries, and they dry real quick, so when they dry, it will be resealed again. The glue, it will still reseal it. See how clean that one popped right off? Pop it right out. Now I hold it apart until it dries, or it will stick and you'll have to redo that again for an empty one to put your custom back in it. But I go along the two sides and the top. I don't go along the bottom, so I don't ever touch the writing. The writing will never get faded. That's why I pop it from the top. Now to reseal them, when I reseal them, I always use Elmer's glue. You don't ever want to use nothing like anything like super glue or any of them kinds of glue, because when you use them glues on it, it will mess up the paint job, it will mess up clear coats, it will cloud up plastic, it will cloud up the blister and make it brittle. It's you just don't want to use that kind of glue. I'll usually put it on like 3 or 4 at a time, let it soak in. I got a whole box full of empty blisters waiting for the customs to get finished to go back in them. And yeah, I just use regular white Elmer's glue, a little bit around it. It dries clear, it holds it good. And the glue's safe for the paint and the plastic. Sometimes I'll have a new one ready to go. When you do a lot of the same vehicle, and you can just pop the new one in, use some paper clips, dries in a couple minutes, and it's resealed. But I got a bunch of cars I'm going to get ready and make customs of and strip down. But here's a custom I just made. It's the first one I ever tried cutting and making two into one. I got to strip it and paint it still. But there's 3 screws holding it together in the bottom. It's real solid. It feels like it was made like this. You can't tell that that I did this. I don't know. I'm real impressed with it. So I got a bunch more of them to come. This one I just did a simple wheel swap on it, but it made a huge difference. So let me show you how I strip the cars and get them ready for paint. Now the stripper I use I like this stuff from Walmart. Don't work real fast. If you want to do something that works in a couple minutes, you can use some aircraft stripper that strips it real quick. But I just fill up a masonry jar with it. And I take a Tupperware like this. It's a Ford GT, got for 50 cents in a dump bin, pretty rough condition. I got the same one brand new out of a blister, so I never made a custom of a Ford GT. Just dip it in like that. And this citrus, it's you want to make sure it's completely coated. There's a spot that ain't, so I'm going to dip it again. I'll make another video of how I drill them apart. I didn't want this video to be too long, so. Now I put them in this Tupperware. A lot of times I'll put them in overnight. It don't matter how long you leave this stuff on. The longer you leave it on, the better. But it's citrus, smells good, it's safe. You just keep dipping them in, and this is a custom. I don't like the paint how it turned out. It's going to be a Golf, but I have to try and paint that one again. Now these pop culture ones, if you ever stripped anything, you know they can be stubborn. They put a lot of clear coat on these. And that's all there is to it. Let's go ahead and get this guy ready to strip. See how I notched that? I trimmed the sides down. Little JB weld. It's actually really stiff. Then this is still two-piece. The bed has both of its rivets left. The cab fits over this rivet. And then you got the front rivet from the truck. So I was able to keep all three rivets. The bed rivet I was actually able to use on the metal chassis on the front part of the bed. That's right where it merged it together. So let's get him stripped. And the truck don't have no interior, unfortunately. It has black windows. And the bed. Let's get them stripped. Now sometimes it only takes about 3 hours. You can check on it. And after 3 hours, you can hose them off. I hose it off with the garden hose outside. So that's how I strip a whole bunch of bodies and get them ready for paint. Well, thank you for joining me, and stay tuned for future videos.